Good morning, my favorite Broncos. I hope you had a good Monday. I know Tuesdays are difficult because we're really tired, but I'm so happy that you're here and you're watching, and hopefully you've made it to today's class Zoom. So we're going to continue on with our discussion of persona. So if you look at my meme, obviously this is my own personal persona in terms of being a mom. So out and about, when I'm in public, hopefully I put on the persona that I'm a good mother. But at home, I'm impatient. I don't like to wait. I don't like to ask more than once. I mean, my kids are little, but ultimately, it's kind of the whole mom wouldn't be acting like, a raving T Rex if we just would have done what she needed to do or asked us to do. So I thought that was funny. But today we're going to continue on with discussing our TED Talks and discussing some of the things that you guys turned in yesterday. On our Zoom, we are going to kind of think about what are some of the various elements of our personalities, which is kind of my point in today's meme. And how can you choose to present yourself, and what determines your choices, or what do you choose in terms of presenting yourself, and what determines your choices? So some of the things that determine my choices are, number one, things that I'm proud of, things that I'm motivated by, also my family. Obviously, professional settings also dictate the various aspects of my persona that I exemplify. So the same with you, right? Some of you mentioned that you're in sports or you're in theater, or some of us are very eclectic in the way that we express ourselves, in the way that we dress, or in the music that we listen to, or the way we do our makeup, or the clothes we wear, right? We're putting on this persona so that way we can try to manipulate and modify other people's perspective of us. So we need to start thinking about that. What are we aware of, and what are we maybe unconscious of as we work through our personas on a day-to-day basis? So today in our Zooms, if you were with us, then you got to go through this scenario. But if not, this is what we did. We were discussing this situation. If Dr. Berger, which is our principal, was in your car, what music would you choose to play, and how does that promote the persona you want to present? So for me, I'm really into like early 2000s punk rock, like Fall Out Boy, stuff, people, don't really know. But I also love Hamilton, and I love, lots of different kinds of music. I mean, for me, I probably would put something that doesn't have profanity because, I mean, if she's in my car, chances are we're probably going to be beyond a professional level, hopefully. But if it's just one random thing, I would be very conscientious about what I displayed because I don't want her to think less of me, right? So how might other factors about the environment and or appearance of your vehicle influence Dr. Berger about your persona? Okay, so if I have an old beat up car, or if I have a brand new car, right? How might that influence their perspective of my persona? Also, is it dirty? Is it clean? Does it smell good? Does it have clothes all over it? Thinking about all of these different environmental factors too within our vehicles, right? So I just wanted us to kind of think about what choices we would make depending upon the situation, right? That's exigence. Exigence is that sense of urgency. Like when somebody's coming over to your house and mom's freaking out because we have to clean everything, right? That's that sense of urgency. That's the rhetorical situation because you're trying to put on a persona of a family that has it all together, right? Or who could be clean. I know that's the case at my house. And typically we tend to clean more in like the 5 minutes before somebody's coming versus, in our day-to-day routine. So going back to your Tuesday folder, you're going to click on the rhetorical situations persona class discussion, and you're going to do something similar that we just talked about, and then what everybody was able to talk about today in our Zoom meetings if they were able to attend. But you have 4 different situational choices. You're going to choose one scenario and then respond to the questions below. So how would you want to be perceived if you were A, running for class officer, B, making a TikTok video to gain more followers, C, asking for permission to attend a concert, or D, applying for a job? So pick one of those situations, and then just tell me, how would you want to be perceived in that particular scenario? What would those reasons be? And give me at least 2 to 3 solid reasons why you would want to be perceived that way. What elements of your persona would you want to emphasize? Okay, so that's what I asked you right here at the end, to focus on specific elements of your persona that you would emphasize, right? So for me, if I wanted to look at those identity markers, I might emphasize those maybe with applying for a job, okay? Especially if those identity markers helped me be more qualified for that job. I definitely would want to look at maybe elements of my persona in terms of my personality or my sarcasm, right? Or I would look at what is the persona of other, maybe, I don't know what they're called, TikTok makers. Don't judge me. And what elements of their persona do they emphasize? And how does that correlate with how many followers they have? So this is just a really brief exercise. It doesn't have to be a long novel, but please make sure that you are thoughtful in specific and concise in the elements that you choose for this discussion. Okay, so then you'll submit it. I would look through and just kind of see what other people's information are, and just kind of figure out, do we have some things in common? Do we not? And then we'll be prepared to discuss that on Wednesday, okay? Have a great Monday, everybody. Let me know if you have questions.